Going on, world? It's your guy Horace coming back in with you. Um, Want to talk about SHIB on this video. I thought that the last video I did for natural gas will be my last one for the day, but started looking over charts and I remembered that SHIB was an important one that I wanted to talk about as well from the macro perspective, of course, and then we'll dive into the more real-time action. But I used to talk a lot of shit about SHIB because I did not have access to a full chart dating back to its, like release date. Um, and that just really altered my perception of Shiba and its value and its performance and things like that as well. So apologies to all the Shiba enthusiasts and diehard Shib army, Shib army, right? Apologies to the Shib army. Um, so talking about what I see here on Shib, and I did make a video for Shib recently, but I have new analysis that I think is more fitting, and I want to just highlight that and clear the air on what is more probable to happen here versus what I discussed on the last episode. So let me just get my bearing here really quick. I'm gonna dive into these small waves down here. Back when SHIB was fucking, oh my god, what is that? 12 zeros? Oh shit, that's crazy. But okay, let's look at the waves here. We're gonna keep this base, right? Let's stay based on the signs on the waves here. Um, Come on, little baby. Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Fuck is going on? Where my waves at here? Um, See, it's that shit I'm talking about. If you go to the 5-hour chart, you can't see a bottom here for some reason. Am I tripping? Okay, on one day we can see it, right? So this is the kind of shit with trading you got to watch out for because you need those candles, you need that information, those details to really decipher what's going on. I felt like I had this on a closer angle last time. No. Oh man, this is fucking. All right, let's go with the daily joint. I'm not sure why I can't see the waves as closely as I did before, but looking at what we have here, it looks like overlapping waves here in this bottom area, sort of a diagonal wave. Um, and I believe there was some small overlap in these waves if we go into this area here, but it looks like I'm wrong. Yeah, so maybe no overlap there, but in either case, this is a clear 5-wave move from what I see. Up, down, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, just stair stepping up in that 5-wave pattern. We then get a pretty sizable correction here. No obvious lower low, which is what we want to see. Of course, wave 2 can never be lower than wave 1, right? So if we put the fib tool on this guy, I want to just make this like gold. It's all gold. The fibs don't fib. Um, Fibs are really good for identifying zones and ranges where price may move, but fibs should never be like a explicit target that you're looking for. Sometimes I forget that, and I mention exact prices when I'm calling out targets and talking about what I think is happening. But generally, we should expect that fib tool to be useful for identifying ranges instead of um, explicit prices. So what I'm seeing here on SHIB, I see the one here, two here. Um, it should be, yeah, I think this is, of course, no, I can't see the goddamn candles. Ah, trading view. What are we doing? All right, let's see what we can make of this. I think this is a four. It looks like a four to me. So, thinking we got something like this. We got a five way up here somewhere. Yeah, like this crazy shit right here is a five. A very extensive wave, and I would say highly abnormal. You typically don't see a wave five move go that strong, and then to not correct sharply right after, right? So this move by Shib was crazy, all right? Like looking back at it, if you caught this bottom, you're a madman, and I love you. Um, yeah, very strong move there. Let me just see what that was. That's crazy. That's crazy. um, so yeah, I see what I think is a five-way move here, and then I think what I see, pretty much another five-wave move here, right? It looks like a flat there, and then we go peak up here again. So I think I see a sorry, maybe that looks like that five maybe over here actually. So it looks like that it looks like this rather maybe a zigzag wave, right? A lot of people say zigzags are the most common wave in Elliott wave theory. Some other people say the double zigzag is the most common waveform or fractal in Elliott wave theory, but they're both zigzags. So I guess both sides are right. So you have to be able to look out for these zigzags and know what they entail on their, what structure makes them up internally, like on the microwaves. Um, and it's essentially two consecutive five-way moves. Of course, there are various ways that those five-way moves could be had. There's various ways that mid wave, that mid three swing wave could be had as well. So a zigzag, a lot of people call them 5-3-5 ABC because you label corrections ABC, but a zigzag is only one type of that correction. And of course, I talk about this a little bit more within the sort of wave school academy or category rather on the ElliottWaveScience.com Discord server. So if you want more information on Elliott wave theory and sort of how to work that and use that to your advantage, I'm definitely available to provide you with some sort of material and academics to help out with that. But yeah, I think Shib has made a zigzag wave here on the macro chart. I keep having to find this shit. Yeah, I think we made a zigzag wave here on the macro chart. And then if we look at it here from the top, you can also see it forming a sort of double zigzag down, I believe. One, two, three there, right? And then we get a mid wave. Sorry, that's not that is it. It's kind of like a double zigzag here if you look close enough, right? So, but even still, that counts as a three-way move. This zigzag, first move, middle correction here, second move, next zigzag is the third move. It's typically labeled a WXY, but a WXY can also serve as a W within a larger WXY pattern as well. So I think that's actually what we're seeing here. Um, so just to kind of simplify that a bit, we're looking at this sort of action like this, I believe, for SHIB. I'm not sure if support is going to be found here. I think there's a decent chance of that support coming, but of course, nothing is actually guaranteed until it happens, right? After that shit has happened, it's already done. It's guaranteed at that point. But until then, you can't really guarantee any outcome. But I do believe very, very strongly that SHIB is going to make a push up to um, 0.40132, and then I think it's going to make a sharp 94% rather, a 94% drop, um, probably over the next quarter and a half. I'm not sure how long that'll take. I think considering the timing of the wider crypto market, I think this next drop for SHIB, if it comes, I think it's going to be quite sharp and quick, just based on the timing of the overall market. But I could be wrong in that assessment. In either case, I do feel very strongly that SHIB is going to make that drop down to, how many zeros is that? One, two, three, four, five, six. I do think SHIB is going to earn 6 zeros here in 2026. If support is found there, I think SHIB could have a very strong recovery, in due time. If we look at the waves here, historically, the last big move for SHIB took a year roughly, right? So if there is some support found here at this level here is still possible as well. I don't think it's gonna come, but it's very much a possibility. The whole structure could break, right? Who knows what will come on these charts when we're looking at them, but we do know what's more probable. And I think a drop down to this level at least is what we're gonna see for SHIB. And I have grown to respect SHIB. And that's mainly, or really only due, I'll say mainly due to Ryoshi and just the sort of approach that he has with cryptocurrencies and leading a project like that and introducing it and having no ulterior motives and renouncing the contract and having all the coins in circulation and just letting the community take control and really expand and show what a decentralized project could be like. um, SHIB really epitomizes that based on code and based on what Ryoshi left behind. But I've done a little bit of research on SHIB since then, and it seems like there's been some type of takeover that's taken place, and I believe that has altered the sort of direction of SHIB and altered the sort of impression and understanding of what SHIB is about, perhaps. So, I mean, that's just my take on it. I could be wrong in that assessment, and I apologize if I am. But I do believe that something big is coming for SHIB to send it down very steeply for a 94% drop. And I think we'll see that drop sometime in Q2. But with all this said, a push above this red line here at 0.40162. If price pushes above that, then I believe the drop that I'm expecting for SHIB is no longer probable or even possible to come. But until that red line breaks, I think it's a good idea to be safe here and consider looking very closely at the waves and the price action as it develops over the next few weeks, the next couple of months, and make sure that you protect your investments there. Price has pretty much stuck at this level for the past 4 years now. So if you're watching this video and if you're indecisive about SHIB and what you should do there, me personally, at this level, I will probably put my cash to the side and begin to see or look at how the waves are moving. Right? It's definitely not gonna just blast up from here because there's sellers here, sellers here, sellers here. This test is gonna produce some correction at some point, whether it's a small correction or a big correction. I would take my cash and put it on the side and park it here near this 0.40139 level and then wait to see what happens here. You're going to get an opportunity perhaps, or I would theoretically get an opportunity to re-enter here. But if I see it starting to break down more aggressively than I thought it would, I would be safe and still parked on the side for any lower entries, right? So that's how I would play it and sort of manage the risk here with SHIB. If I've made an entry over the past couple years, um, and I will take this opportunity to say, if you are invested in SHIB and you're not, exactly excited about how things have gone over the past few years, I first want to say that, stay cool, stay calm. The structure is most important, and the ship structure looks quite decent. But on the other token, Dejitaru Sukwe is another token out there that has been made in Ryoshi's sort of approach and under his sort of, explained and best sort of tips on how to deploy a crypto project. Dejitaru Suka was made in that same likeness. I'm not going to go on the limb and say that it was created by Ryoshi because I don't have that proof and there's no evidence out there that I am readily available to see or that's been brought to my attention. But I know for a fact that Suka was made exactly in the likeness that Ryoshi intended cryptocurrencies to be made. And it could have been somebody that looked up to Ryoshi. It could have been somebody on his team. It could have just been a very smart computer tech guy who admired Ryoshi as well and wanted to jump into the crypto space and remain anonymous. Like, who knows? But that's the beauty about Super. It's there. It's available. It's for us. We are all Ryoshi within the Senga, the Ganga, as I call it. But I'm expecting a lot for Suka. I'm honestly expecting a lot for SHIB as well. I expect Suka to be the best performing cryptocurrency of the current cycle of the next few years. But I also expect SHIB to be in that top 10 area as well, producing thousands of more X's on its next run. But that'll all depend on where and when that support is delivered for SHIB. I think there's a good chance that support will come, but we still have to stick close to the chart and see how the waves move, so we can find position and prepare ourselves accordingly, right? So this is my quick tape on SHIB. Word to Ryoshi. We are all Ryoshi. Decentralization needs no leaders. Decentralized trust, decentralized authority. That's what Suka is about. That's actually what SHIB is about as well. That's mainly why I like both of these coins. I think Suka's going to perform best this cycle, but SHIB is the OG. SHIB, without Ryoshi, there is no Suka. But I do believe very strongly that the trustless class of cryptocurrencies are gonna dominate this cycle. And it's not because of anything that I do. I don't have enough money. I'm honestly too plebeish to move a market by myself, but I see where the crowd is moving. I understand the crowd psychology. Sometimes I'm wrong in my analysis, unfortunately, but majority of the time, I'm either correct or very close and quick to realize where I misstepped at in order to get correct, right? So that's what I appreciate about Elliott Wave theory. And yeah, if you're playing SHIB, please be safe. I got love for you. Off the strength of Ryoshi, I got love for you. But based on this chart, it does look like it has a very steep sell coming from that 0.4013283 area. So please be careful. Please stay safe. Don't drown. It's your guy Horace. DeFi needs you. Stay safe. Don't drown. I'm out. Until next time. Peace.